16-year-old Kayla was 12 years old when she was taken captive and forced to have sex with random men against her will. The NJWC published her story April 15, 2012. Kayla came from a broken home in Ohio with a father that was mentally and physically abusive. One day, I was out avoiding the house when a random man approached me. He drove a beautiful car, had business cards, and said he could give me anything I wanted. I never had nice things before. A man treated me that well, so after we talked for a while, I got in the car with him. He took me to a truck stop in Harrisburg, Virginia. From there, he moved me from city to city, forcing me to have sex with random men against my will. I made over $1,500 a day, but I never saw any of it. Instead, I paid my abductors to mentally and physically abuse me. I got my childhood taken from me. According to the April 15, 2012 report from the Times Free Press, more than 100,000 children are lured into the commercial sex trade each year. More than 10,000 foreign children are brought here annually as sex slaves. SCTnow.org states that child human trafficking is one of the fastest growing crimes in the world. Child trafficking is the world's second largest criminal enterprise after drugs. Around the world, millions of children every day are being manipulated into the commercial sex industry. These underage girls are giving up their innocence in exchange for selling themselves for money. We need to put a stop to this. To understand why children have become prostitutes, we have to understand how they get sucked into the industry. It's one of those issues that doesn't get discussed, and therefore there's an assumption that perhaps either it doesn't exist at all, or the young women and girls who are prostitutes are there by their own free will, says Atlanta Mayor Shirley Franklin, published on PBS.org. It has been reported in all 50 states and is on a rise by generating over $12 billion a year. Over 1.2 million children in America have been reportedly abducted and forced to have unprotected sex with random men against their will. The factors that are causing this to happen are the prostitutes selling themselves and the abductors and johns taking advantage of these young girls. According to NoStatusQuo.com, on February 21, 1985, Joseph Francis Henry, 47 years old, was convicted for molesting 22 girls ages 9 to 11 at a New Jersey nudist camp he managed. Why is this happening to innocent children? According to HubPages.com, the main cause of child prostitution are misery and poverty, dysfunctional family environment, poor education, rebellion, and manipulative, controlling tactics of the child's thoughts by their masters. The targeted girls for abductors are usually emotionally unstable or economically disadvantaged. The abductor's main goal is to exploit their mental and emotional weakness as to gain psychological and physical control. These victims have been sought out at playgrounds, schools, and their very own homes. Rebels may have also run away in hopes of escaping a physically or sexually abusive household or poor lifestyle. William Flanagan, 41, is serving a sentence for acts of child prostitution. On some occasion, he would offer the girls gifts or other types of items in exchange for sex, states azcentral.com. The New York Times blog wrote a story on April 5, 2012, about Lisa, who has lived with sexual abuse all of her life. Since the age of 4, she has been sexually abused by her father, as well as the random men he would bring home for her. Lisa was born with fetal alcohol syndrome, caused by an alcoholic mother. FAS affects the memory, causes learning disabilities, and speech problems. This is Lisa's story. One day, I was buying groceries when a stranger approached me. He called me over to his car and told me I was pretty. He then abducted me. Soon, I was having sex with random men in hotels across DC for money. I remember one man being violent. He wouldn't let me scream while he beat me. Innocent children are hurt each day by the molesters that abuse them. Because I was a virgin, the men that brought me to the U.S. initiated me by raping me again and again, says Rosa, now 14. We have to put an end to this. Many former sex slaves have stepped forward to help other girls who have been sucked into the industry get out and recover. Celebrities like Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore have endorsed the campaign of Real Men Don't Buy Girls to help bring awareness to this issue. With 3 easy steps, you can help in child trafficking. First, help spread the word about child trafficking by joining the football campaign on www.crowdrise.com/football. Secondly, 76% of transactions start on the internet. Put an end to it by reporting suspicious activity on Craigslist or Backpage. Thirdly, sign the petition of the Federal Trafficking Victims Protection Act each year to make sure that it is renewed on www.change.org/petition. Today, I showed you how child sex trafficking in America affects over 100,000 girls a year, as well as continuing to generate money through exploiting innocent children. Child prostitution is an age-old problem that continues to grow daily. The best way we can support the efforts of ending the sex slave trade is to report suspicious incidences online or in our local communities. Just remember, these girls can be our neighbors, our sisters, our friends, or worse, our daughters.